Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give a guide for the floor B23 in the Brutal Singularity Tower. Yellow Watermelon Tonberry is weak to water and physical attacks are most effective on him because he has increased magic resistance, and you also want to bring an X Sigil because if you fail to break that sigil phase, Tonberry will permanently buff his physical attack. And Yellowberry will mostly deal physical damage, but be careful of his fireworks attacks as they deal magic fire damage. And whenever he has force gauge, you want to deplete it to cancel his attack, stun him and nullify his physical attack buffs. And as you chain your attacks, you can deplete it faster. And also with his charge attacks, he targets the character with the lowest current HP, and also bring Esuna Darkness because he will occasionally inflict the status on the character with the highest physical attack. Since it's physical war, Yuffie and Glenn are the best physical war DPS, but they are both limited, and there is still Sephiroth and Cloud with normal weapons, and Cloud's Maritime has been outdated for a very long time, but it still works, and Seph and Cloud can still do some nice damage together. And Seph can also lower water resistance and do DPS, but if you want more support you could bring Nanaki, Barretts and even Cait Sith, as they can provide different utilities as well. And Aerith is the perfect healer here with Bahamut and Kamura if you have them, but Matt is also a very good alternative with Centipede and Bramble Spine, and you could bring Syringe instead, but for those few magic attacks from Tonberry, they are nothing to worry about. And so I have Matt, Sephiroth and Cloud, and Matt is my healer, Sephiroth with Cloud are my DPS, and I also try to lower my stats to make this guide more accessible, so I have some equipment slots empty, but you should bring your best weapons and materia to boost your stats the most. Matt has Gear Voucher outfit with Vanquishing X, but you could also bring Gigantic Shield for MDef buff, Centipede for heals and PDef buff, Bramble Spine to buff physical attack, ultimate weapon, single target Cura, Esuna Darkness and X Sigil, and in sub-equipment slots, 2 guild weapons with physical defense for allies and Buster Origin for some HP and physical defense, since I want Matt to be targeted by Tonberry's attacks. Sephiroth has Water Arcanum outfit with Leviathan, Tempest to debuff water resistance and DPS, Odin to apply exploit weakness, ultimate weapon, X Sigil and a physical defense stat stick, and then in sub-equipment slots 2 weapons with physical potency. Cloud has Bahamut outfit with Climb Hazard, Maritime Sword for DPS and Hard Edge to debuff physical defense, ultimate weapon, X Sigil and a PDF stat stick, and then in sub-equipment slots Cloud has 2 weapons with water potency. Alright, you want to start applying all your buffs and debuffs, so if you have Odin Blades, exploit weakness first, and Cloud you have to cure him from a status. It always targets the character with the highest physical attack, so in my case it's Cloud, but you can start applying physical defense debuff and water resistance, but with Matt, first you want to get rid of that physical defense debuff on your team because Tonberry hits quite hard and you don't want to take too much damage. And only now buff physical attack, and with Aerith and Kamura it's easier because it does AoE buff. But here, don't worry about that physical attack buff. Here comes the force gauge. So let's prepare. And now you can start hitting it. And don't worry, if you have 2 DPS it actually goes very fast, because you can't chain those attacks. And when you chain them, it goes away very fast. But as you deplete the force gauge, that physical attack buff just disappears. But actually it is quite nostalgic because Yellow Tonberry was the first event boss after launch, and we got the event in less than a week after launch, and it was just funny. But This attack, it always targets the character with lowest HP, so in my case, if everyone is max HP, I know it's Matt. And ideally you want to have either provoke or be prepared for this, because those attacks, they hurt quite a lot. And just wait. Alright, and we're back to DPS. But also those fireworks is the only magic attack that he does, and when you see that, switch to defense. And again, yellow fireworks, switch to defense. And the sigil phase, if you have 3 sigils even without the sigil boost slot, it just goes very fast, you don't even have to activate overspeed. And I actually screwed up, I misclicked. Wrong button. Oh, fine. Right, let's just prepare everything. Yes, I want to do the big PP bonk. And it's alright. This Tonberry has a lot of HP. So I know that summon it won't do a lot of damage. I mean, it is big PP damage, but the HP bar it won't really affect it. Right, just always pay attention to your buffs and debuffs. And here again, when you see that he's buffing his physical attack, you know that this force gauge is coming. But again, it's very fast to deplete when you can't chain those attacks. And when you stun him, that physical attack buff just disappears. And again, it's Matt. So just make sure that you have at least mid-20 physical defense buff on yourself. Alright, let's just cure Matt here, and here with physical defense debuff on Cloud, it doesn't last too long. It's OB6 buff, so OB10 is a launch weapon, so if you have it at OB10 it lasts a bit longer, but you could also give Cloud buff debuff extension weapon, so you don't have to recast it so often. Alright, so we're actually fine. I wasn't fast enough, I tried to switch to defense here. Alright, let's chain it. Actually, let's just use those 3 limit breaks to not sit on them. And also because that physical defense debuff is about to expire. But actually, as you can see, you don't even need Vanquishing X here. It just, at least I use it mostly because you can get it faster. And you also don't really need Gigantic Shield as a utility. So at least you can benefit from a little bit more damage on summon. That's alright, it's actually Matt being targeted. If you lose the healer, it's fine. As long as you don't lose the DPS, because then there's no way you can finish the battle with a healer unless it's a pixel HP left. But that's basically the whole battle. Tonberry doesn't have enrage, so it's just the same thing over and over again until you defeat the boss. But I hope you found my guide helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.